Hello, happy Friday and welcome to a Stitchy podcast. I've just made myself a little raspberry tea, which is my favourite beverage at the moment. So I thought I would come on and tell you what I've been up to over the last week. So I have been doing some more of my slow stitching, and we've been working really hard on the Wren Among the Snowdrops. That's our first country diary box. And I'm just going to explain about the upcoming video that I'm going to be doing on slow stitching in nature journaling, and kind of how to get ready if you want to join in with that, how to get ready. You can potentially hear Boo in the hallway. She's just had her first birthday and she has been doing everything possible to interrupt the podcast. She's basically decided there's not going to be a podcast, and her job is to stop that happening. So we'll see how this goes, who wins. So the first thing I wanted to show you is my slow stitching that I've been doing. So I've added a few things to my Stitch Nature journal. I think last week I was on this little bit here, and I think I was talking about enclosing the Suffolk puff with the thread, but I decided not to do that. And I will be coming back, and as I have done there, I'll probably be filling these with some stitches. Not too sure about this bit, actually. Don't know what I'm going to do with that bit. I'm not happy with it. I may add some of this in there, which is why it's there hovering. I'm not quite sure what to do with that. Needles everywhere. This little section here, I'm going to put like echinacea in there. This, by the way, is a Pilot Friction fine liner. So it's like sort of a felt pen. And you just need to touch the iron to it, or even a hairdryer would work. Any heat will remove it. So that's my basic pattern, scrawl. And I think you can see I've done it wrong there. I'm going to start there. I think I'm going to do that in applique, actually, certainly the top part, and maybe the rest of it stitched. That's that. And then over here, my little dahlia bowl. I think I showed that last week, and I've added some more Suffolk puffs and some stems. I'm going to do some leaves as well. And then this, which was a little lace sort of doily. Actually dyed that with raspberry tea. I had a tea bag sitting there and I thought, let's put that to good use. And it's sort of quite patchy because I sort of sit the tea bag on it as well, so it's deliberately patchy, which I really like. I just gave it a quick rinse. And I'm wondering whether to go over this stitching here with a colour. I don't know what to do about that. I don't want to ruin it, but I might just put a bit of maybe watercolour pencils or something on the top. And then I've also added in another little quote. The birds have flown their summer skies to the south, because this is moving into the autumn winter, which I'm still finishing. But like I said, do not worry about that. Do not worry about if you've started a little bit late, because it doesn't matter. So that's caught you up with my slow stitching. I also have finished... Oh, where is it on here? Look at this. This is a lovely old tablecloth that's been darned. I love that. This is my little slow stitch pouch that I have finished. And if you're one of our patrons, you would have seen this little video on Patreon that I put on there with me finishing it. And that's ready to go off now to who it was made for. And this is what I'm going, if you are again one of our patrons, this is the kind of thing that we're going to be doing next week for a little needlework book. So get your scraps ready for that one. I've been doing, oh, the other thing, I found this. I found some hexes that I started putting together, which I'm going to just finish it and then put it onto a cushion or something, which I think was the plan originally, and I completely forgot about it. But it's made me think I need some hexes in my life. I need to do some more of that. I need to get started. Oh, what's her name? Christy Ray, Jones Ray, I think her name is. Oh, she's got such a lovely account. And she does the most beautiful, just like everything she does is really lovely, mellow stitching. And she's really inspired me to do some paper piecing. I'll put the name of the account underneath. I will remember. So that's my stitching that I've been doing this week. This is another little project that I found, another sock project that I've completely forgotten. So no idea where I am in it exactly, but it's a little sock. And that's the first part of it. That's the first one done. So that's something else I'm working on. Can't remember what that's called either. I'll have to find it. But anyway, yes, a little bit of knitting. So update, we're winning on the podcast with Boo. She is whimpering, but we're winning. She has had cuddles. So we've been working on the Wren Among the Snowdrops, which is our first Country Diaries box, which is a box that's going to be running all through the year with a focus on nature. And it's designed to inspire your creativity through knitting and crochet, whatever it is you prefer to do, and through stitch and journaling. So I am going to show you that now. So if you've ordered it, they have started shipping, but if you won't have received it yet. You may have received it if you're in the UK, but if you're abroad, you wouldn't have received it yet. So look away. I don't want to spoil it for you. So before I just quickly show you the Country Diaries box, I just wanted to quickly mention the Floral Edit Minis Club that I showed you last week. This is the first one, Hellebores and Snowdrops. I've had lots and lots of messages from people asking that you wanted to buy this one, and we will put some more up. We can't do it for a little while because we've got lots of things that we've got coming up that we're doing, but we will do it. So I know some of you want to collect them all through the year. I will tell you on here, but I will also write it on the newsletter that you can sign up for on the website, and I will try and show it on Instagram. So we will try and get you some more, and I'm sorry if I haven't replied to you yet. I will get round to it, but I just wanted to say that first. So the second one, which is Aquilegias and Fritillary, is in the shop now. This is the first one, so we will try and get some more of those for you. So our Country Diaries, this is our first box, Wren Amongst the Snowdrops. Once again, if you have ordered this and you don't want a spoiler, look away now. I'm not going to show all of it, but I'm going to show you what you can expect. So it will come in a little sturdy box, which is useful for all your little bits and pieces, fabric, yarn, anything they might use afterwards. And I have taken some bits out, so I'm going to show you what's inside. So this is our Country Diaries, A Wren Among the Snowdrops, number 1. And Chris put the little wren on the top of the box there, which I think is lovely. So the whole point of the Country Diaries, they follow on from our nature journal last year, which you loved, and we wanted to carry on with that, but kind of build on that. So the whole point of this is that it's a box. It's got the yarn for you if you're a knitter or whether you crochet, as an inspiration for a jump off point, but we've also got things in the box which I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you glimpses of it to inspire your journaling and your stitching as well. So this is the main skein for Wren Among the Snowdrops. This is a 100-gram skein, and it's on our sock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And these are the minis. So it's basically encapsulating that little image, if you like, in your head. I'll show you the little wren that Christopher, this came from his journal, he stitched this in his journal. And that was our jump off point, that little wren, and the beautiful snowdrops that you get. So for example here, that's kind of your classic snowdrop colourway. And you've got all the different aspects of the wren, and including some lovely, these little flashes that you get. So they are Wren Among the Snowdrops, main skein and minis. And then, so included in this one, there were some DPN cozies. So basically, we've also, they're on their way, they have started dispatching. We have dyed up some extra ones that are in the shop. These are not quite finished, these are in the process of being made for those extra ones. But the DPN cozies are all made in pure linen. This one had this as its sort of jump off point. Pure linen, and they're all different. Every single one is slightly different. So which one will you have? This is lovely, I love that one. I love all of them. They've all got slightly different placements and fabric combinations, but they're the DPN cozies. So you will get one of those. So you get 6 20-gram minis, your 100-gram skein, DPN cozy. And then the other thing is to inspire you for your stitching. I'm not going to show you because every single one will be different because these are mainly vintage fabrics that are in them, but you will get, so that's come off of Tidy Now yarn. I'm going to use that in my nature journal. Literally waste not, want not. So you will get some kind of fabric to inspire your slow stitching. It may be, you may get an embroidered piece, you may get so this, for example, would be a beautiful backdrop to embroider on, I think. That's lovely, that would make a lovely needle case. So yes, you'll get something for your slow stitching, and I've lost my some little bits of lace, just to make up little bits of slow stitching, and you'll get something for your journaling, like some washi tape. We've put this on, which is on lovely rag paper, because I think that will go in your journal beautifully as well. Perhaps you may get some floral paper. It's just a little box to inspire your creativity. So this one is already on the way to you, and there are an extra few in the shop, but our next one I'll tell you about now. Also, just quickly, I wanted to say this, if you had, this is on our double knit, but if you ordered the Wren skein, and I said it would sit nicely with it, I really think it does. I think it's beautiful. We've made it slightly so it sits beautifully, but you know, it's not too samey. So that's the Wren, that if you ordered that as well as this, I hope you'll be happy with that. Also, love this tissue paper. So what can you expect from this month's Country Diaries? It is going to be Blackbird in the Bluebells. So this is, oh, by the way, you haven't seen, quickly show you this. That's Christopher's work in progress. That's his wagtail from his nature journal. I think he's really got that little wagtail. So this is a blackbird that he's drawn, and this is going to be the artwork for the new box as well. So you can expect it's going to be the same in that it's going to be 6 100-gram skein. It's going to be 6 20-gram minis. It will come with a box pouch, and you can expect some more little bits and pieces for your journaling and slow stitching. So it's going to be blacks and greys and just hints of the brown that you get from the female blackbird. And then you're going to get a lovely burst of colours you'd expect from Bluebell, so lovely blues and lavenders. And it's going to be scrumptious. So that's in the shop now to order, and that is Blackbird in the Bluebells. And it's number 2 of our Country Diaries. Hope you love it. So the last thing that I wanted to say is that there will be a little slow stitch video I have been promising coming up in the next few days, that is going to show you how to get going. And all you need really to prepare for that, if you're going to join in, which I would love you to, is some kind of background. That, like I've said, this is calico, and I know some of you have said you've ordered calico. And little scraps of fabric and thread, anything that you'd like to add into it. It's going to be really organic. It's not a prescribed, this week we're doing this and this week we're doing this. It's just your stitched nature diary is going to be completely unique to you. I know some of you already started. Do not worry if you haven't started, because I haven't started mine yet. And actually that's fine, because I've been thinking about what I want to put in. It's not like your written nature journal where everything is, this week I saw this and this week I saw this. It's more, you're being inspired by nature, so you put in what you want when you want. Some of the patterns, some of the embroidery that's going to go on mine, we will be making the PDF patterns for that available. If you are one of our patrons on our, I think it's our Robins level and above, that will be uploaded on there for you anyway. So if you did want to stitch the same sort of little embroideries, they will be available for you, but you don't need to do that. You can make your own up. That's the whole point of it. So I'll just talk to you a little bit about what you might need. So there is going to be a little video coming soon on getting going on your slow stitching, and that can be a big project or it could be a small thing that you want to start on, doesn't matter. What are you going to need? Basically, this is in my little, one of my many boxes that I carry around with me. You're going to need to gather about you scraps of fabric like this, tiny little scraps, can be smaller than that. Trim, all little odds and ends of thread that you can find. It can be DMC thread, it can be something that maybe you've got in your Selvage Chronicles box, it can be mending thread, it can be anything at all, it can be normal cotton. Gather those together, as many different, think of your colour palette. You don't have to have a colour palette, you may want to just add in anything you see. Maybe you want to have pink running through it, maybe you want mellow colours, perhaps you want quite bold colours, that's entirely up to you. Everybody's will be different. Collect a few things like that around you. Tiny little bits of lace, I think this came out of one of our boxes. Scraps of fabric, this is a bit of Liberty. I keep everything basically, and tapestry wool. This is some vintage tapestry wool, bit of Liberty there. You're basically going to pick up, if someone sends you something with a bit of ribbon, keep it. And basically you're going to have, this actually came off the end of some linen. This has come off fabric as I was cutting it, and I've kept that because I thought that would make nice thread. So keep anything that you have, and basically you're going to put this into your stitching. You're going to just think, oh, that's going to go lovely. I'm going to scrunch that up and I'm going to put that on my stitching. Save what you have. If you've got any of our Selvage boxes, you'll be off to a nice start. This, just briefly show you actually. This is, oh, not that. This was our New Year one. So if you have this, you've got lots of scraps of vintage fabrics. You've got some, everyone would have been different because they are vintage, but you've got little bits of ribbon. That's a little pattern that we put in. These were from Eiderdown. Oh, and as is this, that's beautiful. You've got lots and lots and lots to get you going if you have this one. That's similar to the one that I had that I dyed with my raspberry tea. You've got lots of lovely fabrics. Thank you so much for your feedback on that. I'm so thrilled you loved it. The New Year one is probably the favourite thing we've put together yet. Absolutely loved it. If you ordered our arts and crafts, the one that is just about to go out, that's going out next week. Thank you. That's beautiful too, and there's lots in there that you can use. Absolutely lovely things in there. Sometimes I will use a main embroidery. Let me just grab my stitching. Sometimes I will use an embroidery or some kind of stitching as as a start. So I will begin with a piece of embroidery. Now with this, because I like to do, this is a bigger piece and this is quite unwieldy to embroider on, so I tended to embroider on smaller pieces and then stitch it on. I mean, that's the whole point really of this, is that you're just stitching all little bits and pieces on. What was my first one? Oh, My Little Wren was the first one that I did. This actually is available in the shop at the moment. It's a little PDF. I'm so sorry. I know we haven't got the kits in yet. I am trying to get those in. I just genuinely haven't had time for the last couple of weeks, but I will try. But that little PDF is in there, by which I mean you can download that and it will give you basic instructions and you can put that into your stitching. We are hoping to have this, which will be a bit of a more detailed stitch, but we are hoping to get this in as a PDF too. And sometimes you can use this as your start and then go around it. Sometimes you might think, oh, I love that bit of fabric, I'm going to cut that out and applique that on. Or you might think, I'm going to start with that. It doesn't matter. You will find once you start to get something down on your fabric, you'll be away. So gather your bits and pieces together and there will be a video coming to actually get you started, to give you some idea, and you will be on your way. I hope you love your stitching as much as I do. Just wanted to actually say, I've just found this, which is what Christopher did, where he's actually painted and then sort of stitched onto the top of it, which I think he's going to use as part of a mixed media piece that he's doing. But basically anything can be your jump off point. Whatever it is you prefer. If you like to paint, then paint in a bit of fabric. Use watercolours, use Inktense. I'll be talking about all of those things, but anything can be your jump off point. You could then, if you wanted to, cut this out and put it onto your stitching, you know, on anything that you may have painted. There are no rules. And the other thing that I wanted to say is that I always use a hoop when I'm stitching. That might be something that if you don't have one, it's worth getting. You do not need to use one. Some people would say they never use a hoop. But other than needles, thread of some kind, which I can't wait to use this one, and a fabric to stitch on, which can be an old sheet, it can be anything, as I've said. I will go into that, but just to give you an idea of what you can expect and to start collecting your bits together. And this little book is my favourite thing to read at the moment. A Tree Almanac 2024. It's might as well have been written for Sherry. It's just perfect for me, so I'm absolutely loving this. Last week I mentioned a little podcast that I listened to. It's an Instagram account, and some of you said you couldn't hear me properly. It was Haptic and Hue, and I will put it on the screen or underneath. Sorry, I forgot to do that last week. Which is all things all to do with textiles. It's a really informative podcast. I love it. Traitors tonight. In fact, probably it's clashing with me, but anyway, are you watching Traitors? I'm absolutely loving it, actually. I'm loving some of Claudia's outfits as well. It's really made me want to do Fair Isle and buy tartan and visit castles and things like that, but not the traitor part. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and there will be another video coming up soon on the slow stitching. And if you are one of our patrons, there is going to be a new little needle book, sort of stitch along, starting there in the next couple of days as well. So thank you for watching. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you next week.